Hey guys, welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast. Bat32 here, your weekend warrior, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. Today I will be talking movie soundtracks. I don't know if Newt has reviewed any soundtracks ever or any kind of audio musical media. I'm not sure. I know he's got some records he's told me, but I don't know if he's got soundtracks. And I have like a massive collection of these, and this is just a few of them that I'll be showing you today. But yeah, I mean, I just have a massive vinyl collection in general, and I thought, well, this would be great. Let's talk some movie soundtracks. So first up is Van Nuys Boulevard, which is a personal favorite of Newt's, actually. I mean, he loves this fucking movie. Anytime he can reference this, he's all over it. I don't really know exactly why this is in my collection and not in his collection, because he's just such a fanatic about this film. So, and there's the hot rod car. Yeah, Newt, I don't know. Maybe we could work out a trade or something. I'm thinking Last House on Dead End Street, Barrel Entertainment. Maybe we could do a trade. I don't know. So next up is the Escape from New York soundtrack. I want to say I picked this up when I moved back to Michigan, and I was in a shop. Now it's a shop I frequent, and I want to say this thing was like dirt cheap, and I was looking, and this thing goes for quite a bit. Of course, John Carpenter, music performed. So this is always a good one. I don't know. I don't really know what much to say. If you've seen Escape from New York, you've heard the scores and everything, and of course John Carpenter, amazing musician in his own right. So, how could you have a soundtrack collection and not have the Billy Jack soundtrack? I mean, this. I don't know when I picked this up, but I just had to have it. When I lived in Nashville, I saw the soundtrack all the time. Never Born Losers, although I think there's a Born Losers soundtrack too as well. And probably a soundtrack for the rest of them. Rest of the Billy Jack. So, Mondo Cane. Yes. I do not remember where I found this, but wherever it was, I nabbed it quick because this is the granddaddy of Mondo films, I think. This is an early one. I would say this kind of inspired stuff like Faces of Death and everything. When you look at Mondo Cane now, it's like tame, like it's something you'd see on National Geographic channel now. But yeah, for its time, it was the granddaddy. So, and United Artists put it out, or maybe they just put out the soundtrack. I don't know if they put the film out. I know it's Italian. I don't know. So, on to 2001: A Space Odyssey. Yes, I'm a huge Kubrick fan, so anytime I've been able to get my hands on a soundtrack, I usually do. And I see the 2001 soundtracks. There's so many different variations with different artwork. Sometimes it's the fetal baby flying through space, and this one happens to be artwork, I guess. Probably, I would think storyboard art, probably, because I know there was tons of art done for the film. So we've got Clockwork Orange. I think this has been put out quite a few times, and there's actually another soundtrack that's got more. Like, this has stuff is abridged on this this score. Like, I think Beethoven's Ninth is pretty sure it's cut in like half. So, but there's another soundtrack somewhere. It's the original person who scored it. Some of their scores, and I think Beethoven's Ninth might be full on there. I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm sure you can find like classical records out here in like the cheap bins or at Goodwill or whatever that's got Beethoven's Ninth, but I don't know. I thought it was cool to pick up. It's got, the artwork. I had a nicer copy, but something happened to it, and then this one has a little bit of staining, which these white covers, it doesn't look great. But Clockwork Orange, any of these, if you see any of these out there, these go for a little bit actually, especially first pressing. So Barry Lyndon. Not a fan of this film. If anybody asks me which Kubrick film you like the least, I always say Barry Lyndon. I appreciate the great lengths he went to light this by candlelight and used special lenses and stuff like that from NASA. And yeah, I mean, it looks great, but I mean, every time I've tried to watch it, it's just bored me to death. So, but yeah, I mean, the soundtrack, I think I found this at Goodwill, and I've never seen the soundtrack for this, so I had to lay my hands on it. Zachariah, this is an acid western. It's actually, I've had the soundtrack for maybe over a year, and I knew it was an acid western, but I hadn't seen it, and I think I finally had just seen it here. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I finally got to check out a copy. It's nothing like El Topo. It's more of like a musical, kind of. But it's fun. It's definitely a fun film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Okay, so I have a massive collection of blaxploitation soundtracks. And this one, I can't remember where I picked this one up, but it wasn't too long ago. And I was so happy to finally score the Superfly soundtrack, because just a great soundtrack, Curtis Mayfield. This is the Black Caesar, and I think this was actually James Brown, because he did all the soundtrack for Black Caesar. I think he released this as his album that year. The soundtrack basically was, oh, okay, this is what I worked on for a year. So the record is beat. I think maybe like one or two songs play. I really just bought it for the cover art. This is actually folds out. Yeah, let me pull the sleeve off of it. And it actually folds out. Now it's been beat up and stuff, but we've got James Brown, Black Caesar. This is also one of my favorite blaxploitation films. I don't know what it is. Fred the Hammer Williams is so great in it. And, yeah, I need to get some stuff back here. And yeah, it's rough. But yeah, I've never seen this before. I think I got it for really cheap. Obviously, I got it for cheap because the record's beat and the jacket's beat. But, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get it. And this, I got another one in here, too, that's not in the greatest shape. But, yeah, this is Shaft. This is, again, like 2001 A Space Odyssey. I've actually owned a couple copies of this. And I may have the other copy, and they're like alternatives. Like this one, he's coming down with a rope. I think there's another one where he's like coming down like a fire exit or something. There's multiple variations of this soundtrack. I can't remember, but the other one I had wasn't the jacket and the vinyl wasn't in great shape. So I think I picked this up maybe a couple summers ago. Shit, I don't remember. Great soundtrack though, Isaac Hayes. You know, it's great, a great soundtrack to follow up the Shaft soundtrack. So, and then this is Shaft's big score. Again, the vinyl's beat up on this, but I really just bought it for the artwork, which is essentially this is like poster, what they put on the poster, I think. But yeah, I mean, just such iconic artwork. And, you know, these jackets are beat up, but, and I don't know, I really don't think that this plays, actually. It has been a while since I've attempted it, but, I don't think it plays, so yeah, guys, that's my, soundtrack, little mini, run-through video. I don't know if you guys like these, comment, like the video and stuff, and maybe I'll do another one. If you guys hate them, then I guess I will never do these again. So, Newt, thanks always for letting me hijack your channel for the weekend assault. Be on the lookout for Sleaze Fiend issue 4. Pre-order is going up this month at some point. We want to have it middle of the month, but it might be the end of the month, and it might not even. It's probably going to be the end of the month for sure, but yeah, I don't know how many of you guys are into that kind of stuff. I know Cody LL is not a fan of the sleaze, I hear. So, but anybody that's interested in checking out my writings and you know, fellow collaborators and stuff on film and other genres, check the magazine out at www.weirdworldpublishing.com, and you can also check us out at Sleeves Fiend Magazine on Facebook. All right, guys, thanks.